Try and do this again now. We're heading back to Automobile Institute with the Master of Disaster. And I've already got it teed up here. So I've been trying to make sure that things will work without giving us too much of an argument. But I'm going to try and do this in virtual reality again with this thing. Oculus Rift CV1. It's kind of like the poor guy's VR now. Well, I guess not. They're probably pretty rare, so they're probably a collector's edition. I think a lot of people are using the Quest 2 now, as long as they can get their hands on it. I don't really know how difficult that is. I'm interested in them, but I haven't spent much time looking into it. But blah, 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 blah. We can talk about that some other time. We all want to go and play in Automobilista too. So I got that happening. So then if I switch over to here and put on the helmet, it's not a helmet, it's the funny Borg sunglasses. There we go. Nice. And we got our little supercart here. We'll go back for just a second while I put my gloves on. No, not that far back. Yeah, it's a single race. There, let's see here. See, it says it's 100 horsepower. So I went looking, and they got a bunch of different classes of these. They got, I think KF1 is the top class. They got KZs. It's different combinations of transmissions and 100 cc's, 150 cc, 250 cc, so they end up with different classes. The biggest ones I found was 250 cc's. What is this? Doesn't say. No, it says right there. Of course it says right there. 250 cc cart. And so I was under the impression, like if it's got a 250 cc dirt bike engine in it, that used to mean 25 or 30 horsepower. But that's when I was a kid, and I'm sure everything's much better now, especially in two strokes. And so I was thinking maybe 60 horsepower or 70, but it says they're 100, which is hilarious considering it weighs 210 kilograms. So for non-metric brethren, that's I don't know, 430 pounds, 450 pounds. Half a ton anyways, like no, a quarter of a ton. So a long time ago, if it was 100 horsepower in a car weighing 2,000 pounds, that was, compared to all the other cars, that would feel kind of speedy. So this is not a car with 100 horsepower. This is a shopping cart with really good wheels and some kind of brakes. That is 25% of the weight of that car. So the power to weight ratio of this is ridiculous. Ridiculous. No headlights. We got a 6-speed sequential transmission. There's not much I can say about it. Rear wheel drive, twin cylinder. So it's a 2-cylinder, 250, 2-stroke. It'll scream and it'll make terrible noises. It will drive us crazy. I was chasing around in a short little track. They call it Kansas. But let's go somewhere else. It's not really the right move for that place. So I would like to find kind of a little track, so we don't have to. The karts aren't really that much fun if you're chasing around really long tracks. So we could actually go to a kart track with this, but then let's try this place. They got not the full Hockenheim, it's that historic short track. I think that doesn't even have a chicane in it. So we'll try that. 15 turns. 6.79 kilometers. Isn't the whole course 6.79? Yeah. This is not 6.79 kilometers. I'm sure you all knew that. You didn't need me to tell you. I've left at 11 o'clock so that the trees and everything, the shadows aren't too awful covering up the road. It might not be an issue because we're practically licking the pavement when we're driving this thing. But let's do it now. This is the no gas, all gas edition of the Superkart. We're pretending today that it's going to be our birthday in a couple of weeks, and somebody loves no gas, all gas enough that they're probably thinking I would like one of these, and they've already bought it. They're trying to figure out how to get it delivered in time for my birthday. So I figured I'd better practice, and so I'll be ready when it shows up. What am I doing here? Funny place to start. Hi, bud. Oh, the silent treatment. Looks like you got a cheeseburger. Okay. Quiet boy. Oh, okay. Nice helmet. What the hell? Oh my god. We didn't pay any attention to who our opponents were in this. So I think we're racing Janettas. It's a Janetta, isn't it? Well, this might be alright. We might be able to get around these guys. How come I got severe damage? Fusca. Whoa! That was a bloodbath. We might be able to win this race just by surviving. That's the way those people are driving. We don't got no mirrors or anything, so there's hoping we'll drive in anybody. I can't. I think these VR goggles, for all the wonderful things that they are, I don't think that I can turn around that quickly. It's a pretty good simulation for pretending you got like a motorcycle. You can't see behind you very well. Well, you can, but you have to. You can't just glance. You have to put a little bit of thought into it. Man, I bet you that'd be pretty frustrating. If you spend a lot of money getting your Fusca ready, and then some annoying guy shows up with obviously an insect-powered go-kart. Well, maybe not. Maybe that would just inspire them to go and get their own F1 Superkart of their own. I'm a little bit concerned about that severe damage thing, although it doesn't really seem to be giving us much of a hard time. Where are we? We're 17? In 17th place out of 16? That doesn't make any sense at all. We'll pull them to the pits next time and find out. I wonder if we got disqualified again. I think that our problem is we get disqualified for looking too good. Ain't no gas, all guts. Why don't you put a big helmet on and hide your beautiful face? You know, I don't think I've ever heard any crew chiefs or anything like that, spotters in NASCAR going, "Hey man, tell you what, you better slow down because you're just too good looking." I don't think that's what happened at all. So. just have to imagine that a long time ago, in a place far, far away, Kimmel Point, it's you've probably been disqualified for some arcane reason. What's it that Porsche I was driving that would put itself into the wall there every time it came into the pits? With the auto pitting function. Huh. We're the only ones going to the pits. Looks like it. Fuel, tires, we repaired it. Our car's good to go. We're in 3rd out of 15. Let's stop. We don't want to get too far up to the front. Is that, oh look at that, that's what it is. Is that those are a couple of other Superkarts. And we think we're doing so good at 1 minute 12 seconds. But they're, as usual, 10 seconds faster than No Gas, No Guts. I tell them that I'm just letting them win so that they feel better. I love looking at the list of people on here. Of course, there's our hero, Bobby Dobbs. But usually we're racing against Renato Simone, so I love the idea of thinking that one of the sim gods is racing against us. And then I like a fair bit of skateboarding, me, and so we got an Oliveira. It would be kind of interesting if that was related to Oliveira. And then we have a Thiago here, but I don't think Thiago's a first name, so there's another famous skater, Thiago. Both of them are Brazilian skaters. Both of them are just awesome. I can't really skateboard very much anymore because I am an old curmudgeon. Okay, so we'll return to the pit box. We'll skip to the end. We're going to start in test event, qualify, continue. Okay, that'll push him into the race. Advancing 3rd place. Here we go. There's the race. We're starting in 3rd with the other cards. I can't imagine I'll keep up to them. If I can beat all the rest of the cars, then that will be a big win. I'll try. It's right behind us. It's going to be GT5s. So this is Janetta and the Puma. Alright, let's go. What do you mean I got severe damage? I didn't do anything. Well, that could be a bug. I don't know. Whoa, what the heck? That never happened to us before, eh? It's not like we have really cold tires on or anything. I think we just did that corner the wrong way. That would be it. No gas, I'll get signature move, I think. Okay, well, our strategy is working out. Those guys are sticking to form, and they're holding each other back because they're dueling for 1st and 2nd place. So the two of them are basically holding each other back. I planned for that well in advance as part of my strategy to attain 3rd place, because I figured that they would. I'm not coming into the pits. This is like a defined lap race. I think your sensors are broken. We didn't do anything. You went coasting into that corner, and that's not how you should do it. You have to drive this thing through the corners, I think. that's how, yes, look at that. That's how you lose third place. That's how you get fifth place. You lose fifth. I didn't know. I thought there was only 3 of us. Oh well. Well, this is fun. It almost feels like real competition now. It's a beautiful day here in Hockenheim. I kind of enjoyed today because it's been relatively gray and rainy and where I live. And so earlier today we escaped to where was it? It was lovely and sunny. It's sunny everywhere today. And it's beautiful here in Hockenheim right now. Well, it's the same time. So I guess that doesn't really make much of a difference. We were in Brazil before. I wish I could see the chat right now. That's something else we'll have to work on. It hasn't been really that much of an issue yet. I'm a little bit concerned. I don't really know what's the best way to shift the motor on this thing. Oh, hi buddy, same thing happened to you, eh? It's easy to get overconfident, I guess. I kind of like the fact that Automobilista has AI screw up occasionally, as opposed to the kind of AI that you used to run into, never made any mistakes, had perfect ability for picking braking points. Are we gonna lap this guy? You know, this is the first time I've ever lapped anything. Wow, that's historic there. All you people watching, you think to yourself, man, that was a historic moment. We were there when No Gas, All Guts made his historic first lapping. Well, we let that guy by. Oh, look at that. Now we'll duel through traffic. Man, this is great now. I'll run into you. Okay, I'll give you a ride. Okay. Not fooling around, right? I'm speechless. I'm not used to this kind of thing. This is like, it's like death. Okay, well that would have been death. In real life, we would have been dead. We'd be lying here. If we were lucky, we'd just have a dislocated shoulder or something. Could be dead. But it was good. That was a lot of fun. I'll try a different car now. We're going to, we want to retire. We don't want to go to the pit box. We want to just skip to the end. And we want to escape out of here. And we want to get out somehow without crashing. Automobilista. Although, you know what? It's been pretty good. We had that crash at the end earlier today, but I think I tried to do too many weird things on the same computer at the same time. What else haven't we tried yet? Stock cars, street cars. So this is the streetcar version of the Ultimate. I can't think of 3 cars that would be more different than those 3. Sprint car, it's lots of fun. M1 Pro car, Porsche, P3, P4, those are both pretty good. 1 P2's cool. What is that? Okay. What cars? Oh, so this is the hotted up versions of the Fuscas and things. This one's kind of cool. That one's a front wheel drive. That's a front wheel drive. That's okay, they're all front wheel drive, straight forwards. I don't think there's much of a difference between them, a little bit of weight difference. Passat. Looks like a Passat. This is a Goal HC. This is a Riza. So if I wanted, I could go, oh, that's another one of those Mr. Riza cars. But this is probably a real car from Brazil. Just because I don't know about it doesn't mean anything. In fact, we'll pick a nice job for it, and then we'll take it down the road. It's kind of nice 70s looking thing. There's nice gold wheels there. Kind of like that. And we're selecting that. And we'll stay here. This is kind of an interesting little track. Still the same time, 11 o'clock. Adjust your brake ducts to best suit the current truck conditions. A higher brake duct setting will cool it more, while a lower one will retain more heat. Would you get less drag if you close your brake ducts? Probably. That's more the art. And Buddy is still pretending that we don't even exist. Oh, that's terrible. But there's a nice turnout to crowd there, right? Like, it's full. And we'll get out there and we'll drive around too. This should be kind of a polite little car, I think. It should feel pretty light. And it's got really cool tires. But we have that nice front wheel drive transactional that's going to try and pull us through the corners. Interesting feeling when you switch, you're sim racing and you switch from one vehicle to another, and so the relationship of the supercart to a vehicle like this, it's really quite a difference. They both do the thing. Oops, don't hit the curb. Man, this car did not like the curb. But I'm thinking that the two vehicles, they just feel so different. This is a nice car. This is the kind of car I think if I was out shopping for used cars and I found something like this, I would be pleasantly surprised. I'd be pretty happy about it. I have to move my point of view up a little bit. Let's do a little bit of fine tuning there. Once we get finished with this couple of qualifying laps. I wonder how we'll do. How's our tires come up to temperature? What the hell? That was very cool. Okay, let's fix this point of view here. Move up a little bit. Okay. Up here. Wow, that was a very violent crash. Okay, put this back into neutral. It starts up. Let's back up a little bit. So, point in a reasonable direction. My legs are still messing. I wonder if we did a bunch of damage there. The car feels even worse than it did before. I imagine there is. I bet you it's damaged. Because I remember before it was shown that it was repairing the damage to the cart. So of course you can turn damage modeling off. I find it makes for interesting variations. I know I'm not going to win, so I just kind of want to have the most interesting time I can. And so sometimes trying to race with a crippled vehicle, it's kind of cool. I feel like Tony Stewart. Some guy, you know, his car's been wrecked. He's managed to climb all the way back to first position, hanging on. Front tires pointing in a weird direction. We're in 17th position again, boys. I sometimes think I should really try more. At least stand on the track. As long as we don't hit that curb from hell again. Jeez, that was terrible. Buddy. Two of them. That was nice moves. I'm honored to be passed by the likes of you guys. I could learn a lot by watching your racing technique. The car sliding sideways. Validate our lap. No, that's my friend. I hate when that happens. How much longer we got? 4 minutes? What the hell, buddy? That's what happened to us. So that's the curb to avoid right there. And then, that lap was already invalidated anyways. And it reminds us. I wonder if it'll invalidate the lap to come after this too. We're in Germany now, and I think the stewards and the track marshals are not nearly as lenient. Maybe as a place like Italy or something. Well, Italy, as long as you're driving a Ferrari or a Maserati. If you're driving anything else, you're probably cheating. Or at least the Italian stewards would think that. We got 3 minutes. I think we can at least get another lap in. Everybody else appears to have retired. Cars like this are fun to chase around in, especially if you've been spending a bunch of time in like more capable race cars. Spend a lot of time chasing around in Soopakarts competition, and the car is beautiful. The simulation is geared towards providing that GT3 racing experience, and it's really good at it. But I also enjoy all the other different kinds of cars you could possibly drive. Automobile just has, well, they certainly have a selection. Okay, we're coming around. I don't think that we have qualified anywhere near, except we must be in last place. Alright. Oh, look at that. We made it to 9th. Oh well. That must be a mistake. So we'll skip out of here. And then we'll do a quick race. And then that'll probably be it for this evening. I know you can't take so much excitement. Yeah, we're going to 22. We skipped to the end of this, and we ended up in 9th place. Which ain't so bad. We're 5 seconds off pole position there. And we're closer to 3rd than we're at pole. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, continue. So I'm going to start in 9th in our wonderful goal. It's a goal, isn't it? That's what we're doing. Okay, ready, boys? It's going to be great. What's going to happen here? That's nice. We can use some of these other vehicles as parking blocks. Nice. Whoa. You know, I think that's worth the admission just to watch these cars flipping all over the place. Just pedal to the metal, let God sort it out. Jeez. Nice little pitman over there. Look at the body roll on those Volkswagens. Dragging their back bumper. I'm pretty certain that the thing that we're driving isn't that much different. The Volkswagen's back bumper is just that much closer to the ground. I like these old vintage Minis, they're pretty cool. Front-wheel drive is its own particular kind of challenge. I remember as a young driver, 16 and 17 years old, I had never been exposed to a front-wheel drive car. Our family didn't have any kind of Toyota or Hondas or anything. And so when I finally did get into a Mini, it was wonderful. I thought to myself, this must be what the ball in a pinball machine feels like. Because it would just go around corners, and as long as you kept on top of the accelerator, it would drag itself through practically anything. Even in the winter. As long as you had like ridiculous sort of lug tires on the front of it, it would pull itself through anything. I think that the back end was just sort of like a sled that you pulled behind that front wheel drive unit, because they had the body of these was the frame, and so it was just flat, a flat bottom of the car. And so I think that, in Canadian winters, that part of the car would just skid along the top of the snow. Front wheel drive end would just pull you through. You'd go fast enough, I think, that you'd actually skate along the top of the snow. and you can stay relatively in control as long as you kept moving. And when you came to a stop, everything would kind of change a little bit. Okay, so what is our #1 lesson for winning races? Okay, we don't really know anything about winning races. That's not anything we really know about. We have a theory. You can't win a race unless you finish it. You gotta start it. You can't win it in turn 1. And you certainly can't win unless you finish. And that goes the same for everybody else out there. So these 3 guys here in front of me, they could all still seriously lose. So they face the same kind of challenges that I do. Probably less because they have that AI insurance plan that takes care of everything. Whereas I have a deductible. Deductible is a sliding scale depending on how bad the accident is, in which case the recompense that is paid goes down with the severity of the accident. So I'd like to have myself some of that AI insurance there. It actually pays for things. But we're not too worried about that. So far we've had a non-eventful kind of race. We're actually much more successful than we normally are. So I think using my long-honed sense of racecraft is that probably the difficulty of the AI is set low or something. I don't really know. It would be nice if I knew all that stuff. One of the things I like about sim racing is that you don't really have to pay attention to all those little details. If you consider it a win that it's actually working and not lagging, audio's working. This is pretty brave. Could be death. He's probably going to make me pay for that. Oh no. We were having a nice quiet race, and then we had to go sword fight. I think we get around this guy? I don't know. Ooh, the over-under. That was just... He's fighting back. He's fighting back. He's not fighting back, he's devastating me. Oh, don't bend it, please. Oh, look at pulling away. Did I beat him? So what happened there? What's our... We got 7th place. We got 3rd in class, which isn't really that much of a thrill because I think there's only 3 in our class. We got beat by a couple of GT5s, and but otherwise sounds all right. Let's watch the replay for just a sec. Like that. What do we do? Trackside chase. Is there a TV camera or something? Cockpit chase. That's always an interesting view, especially in VR. Oh, that's almost sick making. Okay, trackside, something wrong with that. I'm looking through here. Chase on board. Oh, you know what the difference is? That was interesting. I love watching that. So there's another one goes off right away, isn't there? Yeah, there it goes. I think I'm going to save this replay because it's just too cool. Roof, trackside walls. Yeah, I don't think those cameras were... Well, it's not that they weren't set up with that in mind. That's that part where I was looking at those Fuscas and watching them dragging their back bumper. Very cool. Anyways, that's just too much fun. It's pretty cool to be able to chase around with vehicles like that. Ugh. Take my helmet off there. Pretty sweaty. So if I do that thing there and head back to the screen. Whew. I'm all sweaty. I'm sweaty at the worst of times. Unless you have a fan or something there, so when you're using your VR goggles, well, I guess you can turn down the heat. Unfortunately, I'm in one of those kind of places where the people who live on the first floor love their heat, and then by the time it gets up here, it's they're pumping lava up through the pipes. But regardless, what's this? Oh, look at that! Big Daddy Warbucks was watching. He saw me doing my personal best. I'm very impressed. Big Daddy Warbucks is my biggest fan. Hi, Big Daddy. It's nice to see you. But I'm finished for now. I was chasing around there. It was 42 minutes without even blinking. Not much of a challenge. But I enjoy it. I love racing around in little pretend race cars. Half the time, reliving my teenage years, except for the racetrack part. We would just drive around the streets irresponsibly and pretend we were race car drivers. But regardless of that, I had a good time. I hope you did too, and so I will leave you there. And I'll see you next time. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know whether... I'd like to do some more of that Half-Life Alyx. See if I can generate some high blood pressure with that. But I also like just chasing around in cars, so I'll see what kind of ideas I can get. I see that Automobilista dropped one of those Black Lotuses. What's the name of that model? It's the stick to the ground one. I think Andretti used to drive one, and it caused quite a sensation. So I'm looking forward to driving. Although you can just imagine what we're driving around today, 150 horsepower. It's going to go really, really well when I hop into 1,000 horsepower Lotus F1 car from the 70s. It'll be great, I know. You're looking forward to it. I'll see you then. Till then, it's no gas, all guts.